These are the cluster sampling. In this case, the population is divided into the groups and a random sample of groups is taken. We see whenever natural groups are there, then we employ the cluster sampling. Now, for example, I will tell you what kind of natural groups are there. Earlier in 1950s to 1960s, the our country get the in 1947 our country get the independence, and states are formed according to the spoken languages. These are the barometers. For example, Maharashtra Marathi, Gujarat Gujarati, Tamil Nadu Tamil, Karnataka Kannada, Kerala Malayalam, etc., etc., Andhra Pradesh Telugu, and so on. Means in that case, some sort of groups are get formed. They are the natural groups are there, are called as the clusters. Suppose we want to conduct a socio-economic survey, then instead of collecting the samples from each and every state, very few states are get selected, and we measure their income, etc., etc., and that is truly representative to the national level. Sample student population by classes. Now systematic sampling, they are selected from some sort of the list at random start. Now these earlier are the probability sampling methods, and in that case the research is reproducible. But what actually social science students do while conducting their research, they employ non-random sampling methods while gathering the information. The first one is the judgment sampling. Suppose this is the class of 400 students, and after teaching them, I know that which one is the best students. And suppose my authority says that one, what is, they had asked me, what is the average IQ of your class? And send few students, they will go for the IQ test. They will go for the IQ test, and I want to check their average IQ. Now, while choosing the students, what I will do, because of my credibility, I will choose those students. I know already that one, their IQ. I will choose only those who had a good IQ, who had a good IQ. And such sampling are called as judgment sampling. But that is not an average IQ of my class. Means this kind of the problems are there in the research. Now, the next sampling, this is non-random sampling, because of here my personal bias is there in the judgment sampling. Now, the another kind of the problems would be the availability sampling. Availability sampling means sometimes students go on the bus stand, those who are available, they are gathering information from that individuals, but that is not a representative of the population, those who are available. That's why also whatever conclusion they draw in that case, that is far away from the reality. And quota sampling means select the individuals up to complete their quotas or their sample size. That's why instead of non-random sampling, choose the random sampling. Now, while gathering the information, we need the questionnaires, but sometimes there will be some sort of the bad questions are there. The first question, suppose this kind of question is there, that is asked to the students, do you visit the library regularly? Definitely, all of would say yes. Then, suppose this question is asked that one to the students, how would you rate the standard and quality of today's lecture? And assume that, suppose I will evaluate your performance, then at that time what will student do? They will say that one, which is very good. And another question is there. Suppose in your questionnaire, another question is there. What is your income? Suppose this question is asked by your friend. Income will be skyrocketed. But this question is asked by income tax department. Then that big or a rich person would say that one, it will be difficult to earn the money. This kind of the problems are there. Then another one is pick your age category. Suppose this question is asked to the gents, then answer might be quite reliable one. But for the ladies, age always inflated or deflated. That is the rest of you. This question is, we'll skip this question. Then what percentage of your week do you spend on studying? The rank in order of importance of following 9 factors. Then what operating systems do you use? Those systems we know, we will tell the name of that system. Then again the question, do you find the lectures noisy? This kind of question should be avoided. How many lectures did you miss last year? No one would say that one we miss 1 lecture or 2 lecture or 3 lectures, etc., etc. Then questionnaire construction. What kind of questionnaire construction should be there? Or what kind of things we have to keep in mind while developing the questionnaires? The questionnaire should be short. It should be simple. Any layman man could understand, and should be the specific one. Then logical question progression. Logical question progression means there should be some sort of the logically. Suppose first question, then second question, it depend on the first, third it depend on the second, and so on. This kind of logical question progression should be there. In questionnaire construction, flow is more important than grammatical correctness. Grammatical correctness is not considered here, just flow is important. Again, key questions first, last, sensitive questions last. It means suppose in the health related survey is there and you ask the while writing the report, the views of the people should be required. That's why open-ended question plays the pivotal role in that context. Then pilot study. Pilot study is just the pretest of the survey. Pilot study is pretest of your methods. It is carried out on small group of typical peoples as a dress rehearsal. After a pilot study, what is the importance of pilot study? Sample size may be reduced. Method of collection of information may be changed. Sample design may be changed. Questionnaire is revised. Questionnaire designs must understand the need to pretest, and pretest. This is the quote by American Statistical Association. See, pilot study is small group of the study. After conducting this study, yes, some of them are asking the questions. Hello? Anand. Hello?
Hello.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Do you have any question?
सर अब जो स्टूडेंट है वो आपको टेक्स्ट चैट बॉक्स में डालेंगे सर पूरा.
Okay, but it will be difficult because of the 400 students are there. I can represent only few of them. Okay, okay. Yes. Anybody have any question? Okay. Okay. I will give you the last 10 to 20 minutes for the question and answers. Last 20 minutes I will give you. Here, as I had mentioned, that one pilot study is small study that is to be conducted, and that gives us the estimates also, and that estimates we will use as a parameters while determining the sample size. That is the importance of pilot study. Hence, in that case, sample size may be reduced, method of collection of information may be changed, sample size, sample design may be changed, and questionnaire, because of some questions we'll check that one, are they required or do not require. Now, non-response, those who do not reply or respond are called as the non-response. That is to be refusals to answer, not available at a time of call. Questionnaire is too difficult. That's why also there is also the problem of the non-response. Non-respondent usually differ from the respondents. Low response will make sample unrepresentative. How do we reduce the non-response? Questionnaire by designing short questionnaire, sponsorship of the bodies which is highly regarded. Means suppose the Aurangabad University is conducting some survey, then there will be some respect in the society regarding that university, and we use that name for our study, assuring the confidentiality, because of sometimes while gathering the information, some sensitive information is there, and the individuals confidentiality should be maintained. Then start the questionnaire with non-threatening questions. Then offer some rewards such as pen, pencil, pad, etc., etc. Offer to provide final result later on, and callbacks. Now the next important question is, what can go wrong? That issue is sample size, that is too large. Now, while determining the sample size, these three constraints are considered: cost, time, and resources. The size of population is usually not important when deciding the sample size. Means how big population doesn't matter while deciding the sample size. But how very population is, it is important. Is the size of population is not important, how it varies, it is more important. Now let's look the example while determining the sample size. See here, this is the example for the estimating the weight of the frog. This is the population of the frog. How much frog do we require in this case? Now let's look. All the frogs are identical, means homogeneous. Then the required sample size would be, then the required sample size would be then the required sample size would be 1. One frog is sufficient to represent the entire population. See, this is very big population of the frog. Now let's look the another example. This is small population of a frog, but each with the different weight. each with the different weight. That's why the required sample size would be bigger than 1. Now, can you infer our earlier statement? Or see, in earlier case, what do we claim here? The size of population is not important. But while deciding sample size, the size of population is not important, but the population, how population varies is more important. You see, this is the sample size. In this case, for this big population also, sample size 1 is sufficient. But for this sample, for this small population, sample size 1 is not sufficient. Because of that, do not truly represent to the whole population. What every survey should have: clearly defined objectives, an adequate frame, pilot study, follow-ups. Response rate should be at least 70%. Otherwise, the sample is not representative. Suppose in our in our sample, 100 individuals are there, at least 70 should be responded. Small sample. Then data can be analyzed by using the Excel, SPSS, web server. These are the softwares. Now again,